Hi everyone, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. Today I want to speak about the central bank digital currency. Christine Lagarde, the head of the European Central Bank, has said that the digital euro, or central bank digital currency, will begin to roll out in October of this year. Yeah, you got it right. October of this year, the digital currency will start rolling out across the European Union. Now, Lagarde said she intends to have this through the retail sector, which essentially is consumers, all of us, that will be using digital euro as part of your currency. And the wholesale part, which would be for the bigger financial transactions with banks and so forth. And this has always been the drive of the European Union. And in particular, over the last number of years, we've seen a big push towards the digital euro. And of course, Michael McGrath, who was ex-finance minister, is now European Commissioner, said that this will complement cash. Now, this is a drive away from cash and a drive towards a cashless society. So, who benefits? They'll say it's for our privacy, or it's for our convenience, it's for our safety, it's to prevent crime, and all this type of stuff will be pushed down the throats of ordinary people. But fundamentally, the ruling classes, the bankers and the big corporate interests benefit. And of course, when you consider the people who are pushing this, such as European Central Bank, and people like Christine Lagarde herself, who was the ex-head of the International Monetary Fund, another globalist organisation, who foisted billions of euro of debt on countries around the world. Of course, we've seen the impacts of the Troika and the IMF in the context of what happened in Ireland in terms of the privatisation of so many of our services and the austerity and the gigantic banking debt, nearly 43% of the total banking debt that's been pushed on the people of Ireland. Now, this is important because this has always been the drive of the European Union. And in the last number of days, Pascal Donoghue, who's the head of the Euro Group finance ministers, has met with Lagarde, van der Leyen and Antonio Costa, the head of the European Council. So getting their ducks in a row as they move towards rearming Europe. And of course, Lagarde herself famously said that inflation came out of nowhere. Inflation didn't come out of nowhere, Christine Lagarde. It came out of the quantitative easing magic money tree printing system of the European Union, and of course because of the war in Ukraine that they won't mention, the sanctions that are imploding Europe, and the profiteering that's taken place. And of course Christine Lagarde won't mention that because that's who she works for, the interests of the very wealthy and big corporations in society. And much the same as what they're doing now with the drive towards the digital euro, it's precisely the same under this euro system. And they're trying to fast track legislation through the European Parliament to get this through. So it's incumbent on all of us to contact our MEPs to say we're fully opposed to this. But of course, so many people in Ireland are fully unaware of what's going on and the bigger picture, which is a bigger power grab and a control agenda. As you see the European Union essentially becoming an authoritarian system where the silence and dissent, and now they're going to control people essentially in terms of this digital euro. And this digital euro as well, which is interesting, is that the fact that it can be switched off at any stage by your government, or perhaps the European Commission, or people like van der Leyen, who are bringing Europe on the brink of World War III in terms of the Rearming Europe plan. And it's a fantastic way for them to control the population and control dissent, to move towards a social credit system. So we have a number of months before this takes place in Europe as we drive towards authoritarianism, and the nonsense will be spilled out through the propaganda to say it's for your protection, for your safety, for your security, and it's absolutely against the interests of ordinary people in terms of your privacy and your individual rights within any society. But of course, media won't talk about this. So please share my videos. Please talk to your friends about this issue and spread it far and wide around what's going on in Irish society. and across the European Union as a drive towards authoritarianism is coming. So thanks for the support of my videos, and please subscribe. Take care. Slán.